Good-looking titles are back in WWE. The United States Women's Championship is here, and it looks amazing. Look at that belt. That's the best belt in WWE today. It doesn't look like a trinket, an ornament on a Christmas tree. It looks like a prize that WWE's best talent want to fight for. But I know we got some disagreements. I know many of you guys in the comment section are already typing out your message. I'll have you know that Cody's WWE title looks great. But y'all are wrong. Brian, first of all, let's hear your lies, your slander against this belt because, ooh, buddy, do you have some thoughts?
I mean, man, look, this title look amazing.
Oh,
If you
okay.
feel what I'm saying.
No lies detected.
I love this title. It's just as amazing as this Chick-fil-A lemonade. If you feel what I'm saying, bro. I come out here, I do my thing. I'm drinking this lemonade, but I got just a perfect contender for this championship.
No, no, no. What? No, you just blew the spot, Brian. You gotta give your thoughts on the belt. We're gonna talk about the belt because I got some thoughts on the belt too. Before we get to contenders.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
Well, let me get my thoughts on the belt since Brian trying to jump
Hold
right
on,
in.
Before you go, bro. The title, I think, is going to elevate women. I think that there is a lot of women in the division, but we have to start giving the women some more time on the main roster. In NXT, it does not happen to be an issue, and that's why when they added a new title, it did not really, make that much of a difference because the women were already getting time. But if the women do not get time on here, because now you're asking for a mid-card women's division on here, this can become a problem and it can get very boring real quick. Just like the tag team titles were right before Bianca and Jade won the championships and made it just a little bit more interesting than it should be. And now we have that U.S. championship, which I am a little bit scared for the future of it. It is a beautiful title, just as Omar went ahead and claimed, but I think that bald man in charge, he got to stay. He got to stay on top of it.
You know what? I do think the title looks good. In fact, the United States champion, like Big O, you say this looks better than the men's. To me, it just looks like a mini version of the men's. And I think the men's U.S. championship looks great. But I will say,
That
kind of
Intercontinental
going
title, the best
crazy
one.
there a little bit because the best championship in WWE is definitely the World Heavyweight Champion. In my opinion, if I had to pick one. But Brian, you are absolutely correct. I think the women's division definitely needs something in WWE because when I'm watching Raw or SmackDown, well, SmackDown's fine, but when you watch Raw, it's just like a bunch of girls in the ring, and it's just like
you know what
a
it is,
bunch
Kenny?
of T-level players. Like it's like interchangeable. Like there's no stars or no standouts, and that's a big problem. You look at SmackDown, you got Bianca Belair, you got Jade Cargill, who is not great in the ring. She was actually better in AEW. You got Bayley, you got I'm sure Charlotte Flair will be over there. You got a lot of big contenders who like just don't do anything if they're not the world champion. They haven't done well with the women's tag team division. I think it was crazy when they put it on Bianca and Jade, made them drop it to Isla Dawn and whatever the other Slayer girl name is, and then you put it back on them. Why? I think the championship reign could have meant so much more if it stayed on them. Just like you see that value in Cody Rhodes, you should have done the same with Bianca and Jade. Got them to WrestleMania before you did the breakup and had them go against each other. But I think this will be helpful for stars like Bayley, who really have nothing to do when she's not the champion. Throw this one on her. Just like we see with the TBS championship in AEW, it definitely helps. Mercedes Moné, one of the biggest women's stars in AEW, she's the secondary champion, but you don't look at that belt in that way because she's so good. And if they treat this belt right, it can have that same value. Big Om, what you got for me?
I mean, I think you said a lot of it, probably most of it. The only thing I'll add on is I really do worry about the future of this belt because Triple H has a problem booking women's wrestling. Like, let's be honest, it's a problem. It is. We used to chastise Tony Khan for it, as I did many times for nearly 5 years until he finally started booking it better. But it's wild that when you watch women's wrestling on Monday Night Raw in 2024, it more so resembles like WWE women's booking in 2014 than it does WWE women's booking in like 2018, when you could argue that was when they were at their zenith. They had the big four horsewomen of wrestling, like all hitting their stride, all being big stars, holding titles, wrestling each other. And it just seems like we have so much talent in this division. And this title is proof that that talent does exist, and they all have the potential to do that. But the lack of an emphasis and prioritization from a booking standpoint, I think like that just makes me worry, because Triple H has done nothing to prove to me that he can book secondary titles in general in WWE. Like, and especially in the women's division, I love Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And when they defend those titles, it is fun to watch. Boys, they don't do that often. They don't tell stories with that belt often. They barely tell stories with the tag team title, the men's tag team titles. They barely tell stories with their other secondary champions. It is like LA Knight right now. He's just like, Carmelo Hayes. Someone's gonna wrestle for me, but like Andrade and Carmelo had like a 8-match series to determine who was gonna wrestle LA Knight, and he was just waiting in the wings, holding his belt, looking pretty. Anyway, that's my worry. Hopefully, there's one way to alleviate it, and hopefully they do that, because this belt could not come at a better time, because we got a lot of contenders that could wrestle for it, but there's one woman that should wrestle for it.
I want to say one thing, because it's crazy the fact that you just said Triple H can't book women's wrestling. If we look historically, Triple H, I think, has booked women's wrestling better than anybody ever has, because
I agree.
in
2024, he can't.
They came from Triple H. In NXT back in the day when Sasha Banks and Bayley was going at it, you had Paige, you had Becky Lynch. Like, those were superstars coming up under him. But now, I mean, he didn't give Alexa Bliss the NXT championship, which was crazy. Didn't give it to Bianca Belair, which was crazy. But overall, I think he was doing great things back then. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, go ahead. You said we were going to.
No, I mean, Brian, you already talked about it. Let's go.
I got a perfect contender for this title right here, fellas. I ain't going to lie, man. Charlotte comes back. There is no better person to elevate this title into what it could be. And I think Charlotte Flair is perfect. I know a lot of people are like, no, I'm tired of Charlotte Flair. We haven't seen this lady in like, what, a year? It's been a while. It's been a while. So, me personally, I'm not the biggest Charlotte Flair fan, but when it comes down to just seeing what we can, my fault, fellas, but what we can just see, in terms of this title being elevated, I think we go Charlotte.
Oh, Big Om, who do you got? Who do you think they should put it on?
It has to be Charlotte. If it's not Charlotte, I'm worried, man. Like, here's the thing.
Charlotte, come on.
I'm worried, Charlotte. Look, for the future of this belt in this division, it probably has to be Charlotte, because I don't trust Triple H to put it on an up-and-coming star right now. I just don't trust them to prioritize that. It's going to go on someone. It's going to go on Jada Parker, potentially. Shout out to Jada Parker. It could go on to someone else. Brian doesn't even know what's going on. That's crazy. It could go on like a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter, because I don't think Triple H is going to prioritize someone like these other talent, like a Mia Yim or a Jada Parker compared to a Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I see a lot of people trying to vote for it to go on Mia Yim. I feel like right now she's like in that pack where she's just like not a standout over everybody else. So they got to.
This title could be something that kind of pushes her up, because a lot of people are fans of her, bro. I didn't know so many people were behind her.
She's got a big fan base. I don't like her because of that picture she took where she was had her legs wrapped around Austin Theory. Like, you got a husband, man. What are you doing? Like, why are you putting this?
There's no way you took that personal.
It's all
I took it personal, bro. Like why would you do that to your husband? Like, you castrated the man.
Dominic Mysterio's got a wife, and he's crashing out.
But I mean, you got to think about it. What they're doing is on TV. This was in a photo shoot backstage. Nothing in the storyline or nothing. You just straddled another man.
Hey, man, I'm not getting involved in other people's business.
As a man with a wife, I didn't respect it.
If Keith Lee still like that, bro, then ain't none of my business.
Shouts out to these people.
Guys, let us know in the comment section, who do you guys think should be the first ever women's United States?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I got to go back. I got another pick of who I want to win it. Take them out, Big Om. I'm going to throw it up on the screen while you're talking.
Well, damn.
Let us know in the comment section who y'all want to see take this championship, because I got one person that I think would be the perfect first United States champion for the women.
Lola Vice.
No, sir. She is right there. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on this video and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Kiss that ring if you ain't trying to grip that thing.